5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Sports Port episode 23, I believe this is. Starting off with a little 90s vibe as the Browns get their first win. Look at these two. They just love each other so much. These clowns, they're not the Browns. The Browns aren't clowns. They get their first win since 1994. We'll talk about that. We got a lot of football to talk to, a lot of other stuff to talk about. We'll start, though, with the Bills and the Colts.
Good place to start.
Yes, it's a good place to start. Very good place to start. The Bills beat the Colts 27-24. The Bills looked good again. Offensively against a really good defense. I happened to, when you and Barnes were doing the show, like many other people, I don't think that a lot of people gave the Colts a lot of credit. Right. Especially on the defensive side of the ball. What do you think, personally from you? We'll start with you, Matt. What did you think? What did you think?
Put that rundown back up.
Yeah. What did you think of their performance in this game?
The Colts?
Both teams.
Just the game in general?
Did you expect it to turn out like this?
No, dude, because the Bills started pulling away there, halftime, third quarter. And I just, with Phillip Rivers, we've been ripping on him for just not being able to get it done in the playoffs, one and done type of deal. But I was shocked when, honestly, the Colts came crawling back in, dude, and they made it a close game. And then at the end, bro, I really did think that should have been a fumble on that play where Rivers threw.
Yeah.
I forget who he threw it to, but he dropped it.
Yeah.
And it looked like to me that he wasn't touched. It looks like to me he got up and he fumbled the ball.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, game over. Didn't go that way. Colts get another shot and tried to tie it up. Obviously, Rivers throws the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
But credit to the Colts for making a comeback. I didn't think that they were gonna be in that game at all. To be honest, I thought they were gonna get shellacked.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They hung in. But the Bills, dude, defense comes up big, made some plays. Josh Allen looks like a fucking MVP. And then they're on to the next round. So.
And I forgot to, I feel bad. I forgot to announce who's here today. Obviously, we have Tam and Tony in front of the camera.
That's all right, dude.
Super producer Mike
guys.
behind the camera.
Yeah. And Tony's mustache is here, too.
And Tony's mustache is
as
here,
always.
too.
Tam's shirt is not here today. He phoned that one in, dude.
He forgot to put it on, but it's all right.
Sometimes
I
that
think you
happens.
forgot it at home.
Sometimes forget.
Did you just forget it at home?
Dude, Monday, laundry's stacking up, who's got time for that?
Took off his jacket and there was no shirt.
Yeah. Well, like I said, sometimes you forget an article of clothing or two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
3 or 4.
Absolutely.
Depending on the day or the season.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, it's
The
warm
day of the
outside today,
season.
so
I do have my hat, though. The hat is keeping me warm.
Yeah.
And this 80-degree room.
Yeah.
Yes, which Tony's not happy about. But Tony,
dealing
forget
with it,
about
right, dude.
Just try and breathe through it. Try and breathe through
Wim
it,
Hof.
figure it out.
Ireland rugby.
And tell us what you thought of the Bills Colts game.
So, dude, I mean, I had my hopes up for Rivers. I mean, I think he's obviously he's a great quarterback, but I don't think anyone really thought that the Colts would make it this much of a game, really. I mean, Rivers threw for 309 yards, no interceptions, did well. Josh Allen just kind of outperformed him a little bit. I mean, they were both on their A games. But, the Colts left it close. I'm looking at some stats here. They actually had more yards. In general, they had almost 500 yards, whereas the Bills had only 400. They had more possession. There was obviously, almost not many turnovers at all. I think there was just, each team had a fumble, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this thing.
We'll check that. I can't trust you.
Oh, dude, are you serious? Well, I'm looking at it right here.
What is that? What did he
say? Each team just had a fumble. That was the only...
So pretty sound.
Many mistakes were made, I feel.
Right.
So it was both teams playing at the top of their game, and it was a hell of a game to watch. But I think the Bills just kind of pulled it off at the end. I mean, I feel like they didn't really run away with it. I feel like at any point, in terms of scoring, for each quarter it was 7-3, then it was 14-10, and.
Yeah, I think this was...
back in the Colts.
Yeah, dude. They had an answer for every one of Bills' score. So
No, yeah. I think a lot of people just downplayed how good the Colts defense is, and maybe just being a person who is a fan of a team that plays in their division, I guess I noticed it a little bit more. But the Colts defense is really good, and I think they showed that. And they had every chance to win that game, like we mentioned, with the fumble, having an opportunity, having an opportunity to drive down the field and take the lead. They just never got in front.
Right.
But I think this game was really, really good for the Bills moving forward.
0 fumbles lost. Both teams.
Yeah.
So there were no turnovers.
No turnovers.
Okay.
Tony. Well,
Sound
good job.
offensive
No,
game.
Yeah. All right. Well, we pride ourselves on being correct, but there's that.
All right.
But no, this is a good game for the Bills because they've beaten every team that they've played since they lost to the Cardinals by 10 points or more. In the last 3 games
Seems like
they've played,
forever
they
ago.
beat every team by 30. So it was a good game for them to play in like a close game, which is important. I mean, speaking of that Cardinals loss, if that Hail Mary doesn't happen, the Bills are 14-2 going into the postseason. I don't know. They lost to the Chiefs, so they wouldn't have been the 1 seed. But they would have been on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 game win streak, I think, going into the postseason. 10-game win streak going into the postseason. Instead, they're 9-1 going into the postseason, which is still unbelievable. They've been really, really good since really their only blemishes have been that Chiefs loss. And then, of course, their other 2 losses come against the Titans and the Chiefs in that weird COVID thing where their games got pushed back and then pushed together. And they played on Monday night instead of playing on Sunday. And they played on Thursday night the week. You know, it was all messed up, or Tuesday night the week before. So they've been phenomenal really all year, and it's I think it's really showing for them. Last thing on the Colts, really, obviously Philip Rivers is getting up there.
In terms of age.
Yeah.
And number of children.
And number of children.
Nice, dude.
And I think he's
He has
9,
10.
10?
Yeah. Might have 11 now.
What?
Yeah, no, he's. Yeah, he might have 11. I feel like he has more than that. I don't know why. Who
cares?
But he probably will not be the quarterback for the
9.
Colts next year.
I wouldn't think so.
Any guesses on who might?
I mean, dude, I think it's gonna be Carson Wentz. I think the Colts should trade for Wentz.
That's actually a good
his
point,
name's
yeah.
been linked to them for the past couple weeks now.
Well, yeah, it is a
debacle in Philly.
Right. Yeah, he's
that
looking for an
that
out.
organization's a
Looking
shit
for a
show.
hard out.
Yeah, he's also his best years, I think, were under Frank Reich. The head coach of the
Colts.
Of the Colts. So that would be a good move for him. I think I could see that as well. I'm not really sure who else would go there if not him. It would be,
I don't know.
Maybe Taylor Heineke.
We'll see what. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Rivers, he's not going to retire or anything. You think that, like.
I don't know. He's getting up there. I mean,
He's
he
close.
just
Getting
looks
close.
old, man.
He does.
He looks old. He looks like look at Tom Brady, Drew Brees even. They look like they can still play. Like Rivers just looks like
Rivers is a little. He's
struggling
definitely
out
a
there.
step behind those guys, obviously.
Without that defense, that team is not good because they barely could score any points.
I barely heard T.Y. Hilton's name pop up this year, and any
Yeah,
like
but he wasn't that good
highlights
this
or
year,
anything.
yeah. And he was injured, but he had his
because historically he's been good the last few seasons. I mean, he's been a beast.
yeah.
T.Y. Hilton,
Yeah.
You always hear his name.
especially when they had luck.
Yeah.
I can't believe luck, dude. Schmuck.
This team would look a lot different this year if Andrew Luck. This
Yeah.
team would have won the division
Yeah.
and probably
Definitely.
would have went.
Dude, Andrew Luck was
Further.
the dude. He was,
Andy Dandy.
I know he was good, man. But especially with that defense, that would have been something to watch. But
Just a big farmer boy that really didn't love football like
He
that.
talks like,
He really didn't.
Clearly, yeah.
Rather work on the farm, his family's farm.
respect the farm.
power
I
to
do.
hey,
him.
respect it. Respect.
I
it.
do
Hey, maybe,
respect
hey,
it.
respect.
I don't know. You're talking down to him.
No, I'm
almost,
not.
I would like to visit
still
that
have
farm and
family
get
that
some
works
fresh
on a
eggs
farm,
and
Tony.
vegetables. To be honest with you, maybe we should do that. Go visit Andrew Luck at his farm.
Oh,
You can bring
definitely.
the cameras and
Do a
film the
30
whole
for
thing,
30.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But
Andy on the farm.
He's like tossing. I don't even know.
Corns?
What would you throw?
Stalks of corn?
Yeah. Just humming them like
yeah.
70 yards into a bucket.
it's like Field of Dreams, but for football.
Oh.
He
Yeah,
has his
football.
own football field and his cornfield,
Wow, Tony.
That'd be pretty dope.
Screen time.
Well, yeah, a little screen
Shout out
time,
Screen Time.
Sports Port crossover there.
Yeah.
Tony, of course, on screen time. Would
Yes.
you consider
Yeah,
yourself
check it
the
out, guys.
host, the
Oh, yeah,
co-host? How do
he's
you-
both.
Co-host. Well, no.
He's host, co-host,
He does it all. He wears
producer,
multiple hats.
director, camera operator for that show.
Mustache
whatever you
plays
need, dude.
plays a big part in it sometimes.
Yeah, it'll come
and Tony
off.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
It'll
the
come
mustache.
off and he'll run
Oh,
through
fake.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the mustache will
fake.
come over here and produce.
Yeah.
Can I borrow that
No.
at some time?
No.
It's magic. It's how he's able to be in two places.
I
Yeah,
wish I
maybe.
had
Yeah,
that
maybe,
right
dude.
now.
That'd be
right
pretty
this
dope.
Second.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I wish I had it drawn on.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you got a Sharpie? Anyone got a Sharpie?
I know.
Yeah, I do.
Dude.
Next time.
Oh.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Come on.
Next time, he'll have a shirt on next time, so he'll be able to do
Probably
that.
not.
Probably not. Okay.
Our studio
So this is going to be cut.
really hot.
Matt's the one and done.
Sweating dick.
All right. Moving on. No, yeah, we'll keep it in the AFC South and go to the Titans, the team who did win the AFC South. They lose to the Ravens 20-13. Before
Yeah.
before I get into
all right,
anything, I want to hear what you guys had to say on it. I mean, what was your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I originally picked the Titans. I thought, dude, the Ravens defense just kept the offense or the Titans offense in check, dude. Derrick Henry couldn't really get anything going. Tannehill couldn't really get anything going. They only scored 13 points, dude. So credit to the Ravens, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and then offensively, Lamar Jackson doing his thing, making plays. The running game, Dobbins showed up for Baltimore too. And the Ravens, dude, they you know what? They probably looked at last year. I said, this is the team that put us out last year, and they had something. They had something even more. To play for.
There's a huge rivalry between the Ravens
Definitely.
and the Titans. It goes back to the 2000s when the Titans first, even 1999, I think, when the Titans first moved into Nissan Stadium, which is their current stadium.
Okay.
And of course the Titans earlier in the season dancing, or I don't know if they were dancing. I actually didn't see this when it happened, but obviously it popped up a lot during the week on the Ravens logo when they beat them in the regular season. Baltimore in the regular season, dating back to last year when the Titans beat them in the playoffs last year, despite the Ravens being the best team in the NFL. MVP. Lamar Jackson MVP. You dated back to 2008 when the Titans roles were reversed. The Titans were the best team.
They had that perfect season going.
Yeah, so a lot of history there. So and obviously the Ravens dancing on the Titans logo after the interception.
Yeah.
Tony, what'd you think of this one?
So yeah, to piggyback off of what Tam said, I mean, Baltimore held the Titans to like 51 rushing yards for that game. I mean, that's pretty crazy. That's really impressive. And obviously,
It's like a bunch of yous were out there. tackling.
literally a bunch of me's. We're trying. Yeah, dude.
Well, Tony talked to the whole team before the game.
I showed them what to do.
Yeah, dude.
Like, this is how you gotta hit.
It was a Zoom call.
He's like, "Can you see me?"
Don't worry, CDC. We kept everybody 6 feet apart.
But yeah, obviously, like, you know, the Titans' running game is they're like kind of their bread and butter for their offense, and you know, if you stop that, obviously other aspects of their game kind of, you know, struggled.
away,
You know, yeah, exactly. So and then, you know, Jackson kind of showed up a little bit, so that obviously he was a good offensive weapon for the Ravens, and the Ravens pulled it off. Like, you know, I was picking the Titans too to win this one. I think a lot of people were.
It was tough, dude. It was a tough toss up to pick between these two because, like,
Yeah.
you know, like they had the rivalry going. They're both great teams, so it was definitely a toss up. And it was a close game. It was only a 1-possession game. You know, being the final score.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But,
Did you watch the game, Gino?
I did watch the game. So just before we go further,
you
I mean,
upset,
honestly,
dude?
a little bit upset. But before we go further, in previous games, in the game this season previously, Titans held Lamar Jackson only 51 yards rushing in that game, where Derrick Henry had 133 yards in that one. And then I'd have to check, but I believe they also held him pretty tame in the playoff game last year, which that's what you have to do. You just have to hold him, you know, from really breaking out and really
and getting like a 200
for the most
Contain him,
for the most part.
200 yards.
Honestly, for the most part, they did. The big run obviously killed them, and I mean, it's bad coaching not to have a spy on Lamar Jackson at all times. But Kevin Byard was there to make the play, and he took the wrong angle, came down hard towards the center when he just had to push him to the center. If you push him to the center, he's got 5 defenders in the middle there. You can't give him the edge, because once you gave him the edge, it was over because nobody's going to be able to catch him. So bad coaching on that part. And just really bad coaching all around. The one problem Arthur Smith has been fantastic. He's the offensive coordinator for the Titans. The one problem he has is he often goes away from the run when it doesn't work. Yes, Derrick Henry had 10 carries for 18 yards in the first half. He had 8 carries for 22 yards in the second half, which is a little bit better. Not great, but a little bit better. But I think the one big thing is Derrick Henry just continues to wear down these guys when he keeps going at him and they keep going back to the run. And this isn't a game that got away from them. They were up 10-0. They could have ran the ball 15, 20 times, you know, in the first half. And they didn't. They chose not to do that. and they didn't really mix up the run game either. It was a lot of runs towards the middle, a lot of runs off the edge. They didn't try and get him outside on any pitches, or they didn't really even help him by creating any option for Ryan Tannehill. Often, the play that I go back to is they get it down to first and goal or second and goal on the 5. They don't run the ball once inside the 5-yard line, which if you run the ball once, either on second or third down, which I would have ran it probably on second down again, and then if it wasn't close enough, then go for a pass. I just don't understand why you don't run the ball there. Because then they throw the ball, they lose 2 yards, and they have to kick the field goal there as opposed to going for it on fourth down inside the 5-yard line, which is something I think you would do, especially only down 7 in that situation.
And with Derrick Henry.
And in a fucking playoff
And with Derrick
game.
Henry in a playoff game. And the problem is, 9 times out of 10, the option with Ryan Tannehill works. The option where they fake the handoff to Henry and Tannehill bootlegs out to the right.
Yeah.
It works literally every time. They didn't try it once. They didn't try it once. You have to try
At
that
all
play.
last night?
You have to try that play.
You have to do what got you there in the first place.
We talked about on Geno time. We talked about how Ryan Tannehill ran the ball. In this game, he had a 21-yard run. I mean, he can run the ball, and I feel like the Ravens were stacking the box with 8 players, and the logical thing to do was to work the outside of the field, work the hash marks.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They didn't work the hash marks. They didn't try and get the ball on the outside of the field. They didn't try and get Derrick Henry in space. They didn't let Tannehill get out in space. That was a huge problem. The other problem is Mike Vrabel not going for it on 4th and 2. First off, Derrick Henry breaks off an 8-yard run on 1st and 10.
Right before it.
Right on that same exact sequence of plays.
Yeah.
The 2nd down and 2, they pass the ball. 3rd down and 2, they pass the ball. And then they punt it on 4th and 2.
Jesus.
You have to run the ball. I don't care how. Derrick Henry in the second half was getting 2-3 yards of carry.
Yeah.
He was getting it. You have to go back to running the ball. And in that situation, there's a Twitter account that follows like cowardly coaching, basically. And in that specific situation, he was in the 99th percentile of like cowardly decisions by coaches. Like it was like the top 10 basically of like most cowardly decisions.
Wow.
And this is a guy that we're used to seeing make those risky decisions. You remember last year in the Patriots game, he decided he was going to take all those false start penalties to run the clock down, which could have given him not enough time because Tom Brady still had 3 minutes on the clock to play or whatever. And it ended up working out. He does these risky decisions all the time, and you just wonder why he didn't do it this time. It just didn't make sense that he didn't do it this time. It's 4th and 2. You're on the 40-yard line. Justin Tucker misses a field goal from 50 yards out, which he never does. You have to take advantage of that. You have to try and get points. If you get inside the 40-yard line, you're in field goal range.
Right.
And then it's a 1-point game.
Yeah.
And then you can kick off.
More pressure on the other team, too.
His excuse was he felt his defense was playing well. If you feel your defense is playing well, you go for it on 4th down because you feel like your defense can stop them from whatever they start from. And that's the biggest problem was the lack of really, going after it and really, trying to. It's just like the coaching was bad. The coaching was bad. The players didn't play well. Corey Davis didn't play for a number of snaps at the end of the game. He only played in 65% of the snaps, but most of those non-snaps coming at the end of the game, and that's a huge problem because they had Khalif Raymond and some other guys who don't really play too much as the receivers, and of course we saw what happened when Khalif Raymond ran into the Ravens guy, which a lot of people are complaining about pass interference. Personally, you win the game before that. It's that play didn't determine the game. And I think that the coaching failed the Titans in this one, and I think it was a very winnable game for the Titans. I don't think, other than the big Lamar Jackson run, I think that they played the game perfectly. And
Baltimore looked good. It looked sound.
This is the one defense. This is the one game where you can't blame the game on the defense. The defense played well. The defense did what they needed to do. They had one mistake.
Yeah,
they had one mistake. Other than that one mistake, they gave up a touchdown and a field goal. I think they scored a touchdown from like the 2-yard line with J.K. Dobbins or something.
It's crazy too because the Titans' offense is what got them.
Got
them to where they are now.
And Ryan
everybody
Tannehill
was bugging about the defense.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
Ryan Tannehill didn't play terrible, and it's just like they didn't go to the tight end a lot. They didn't go to Ryan Tannehill let it loose a lot, and if they did, a lot of times the Ravens were playing really good defense, so it was covered. But they didn't use the offense to its full potential, I think. So that's my issue with the Titans game.
We'll see you next year.
We'll see you next year.
Oh, yeah.
But
And that was Geno time.
That was basically Judah. But yeah, no. So that's the Titans. The Ravens, though, got to give them credit. They played good defense.
Yep.
they played really good defense.
No,
Lamar
they
Jackson.
played all around a
Their
good game.
front
I think, on
line
both
was
sides of the ball.
amazing, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I really like Dobbins too for the Ravens, bro. He's nice.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
him a
no,
lot.
he's been good. So definitely good job by the Ravens. They'll play the Bills next, I think.
Yeah, I believe
So that'd be a
right?
really, really good
Yep.
matchup, and you guys will break that down. So on Friday, I believe.
Yes.
So let's move on now to the Browns beating the Steelers in a massive win for them.
Yeah,
They beat the Steelers for the first time
Cleveland, dude.
since 1994. They win a playoff game. They got out to a great jump. Baker
Literally,
finished the job because
the best start you could kind of want.
Yeah.
you could ask for.
Yeah.
28 points in the first quarter,
Like,
dude.
holy shit,
Fucking
dude.
The
First play of the
Steelers
game.
they kind of
Yeah.
they score a
dude.
touchdown. Like that.
That's ideal,
set the
dude.
tone
Yeah.
right from the start, dude. They didn't look back. Baker was huge.
Yeah.
3 TDs, no picks.
Yeah, it was really good, and that's the game that Baker Mayfield needed to kind of
Yes,
really jump
for
out
sure.
there and
And
really prove himself.
Chubb and Kareem Hunt, dude, 2-headed monster.
Yeah,
last
Chubb.
night, bro.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
he was good.
Like how many,
they
how many
were
yards did
Chubb.
Chubb
He
have?
was really good.
I know.
Chubb.
Oh, sorry. He averaged about 4.2 yards, 76 yards.
Yeah.
Per game. Yeah. On
Yeah, he
18
was-
carries.
He was good.
Yeah.
It was good, and they just kind of that game was close, but Baker stepped up at the end there and did a
Landry
good
played
job.
well too.
Yeah.
Baker
Yeah,
was
dude.
throwing the
They
ball
got-
all over the place, spreading
Yeah.
the ball around.
Yeah, it got a little scary in the third
Can-
quarter. 'Cause
Yeah.
Browns didn't score anything.
I didn't
Yeah.
think the Browns might.
And you
I
saw
was
the
getting nervous,
Steelers,
bro.
like, creeping in a little
dude,
bit,
I
and
was
you're
like,
like,
oh
oh,
shit, here we
man.
go.
Yeah.
And it's like at that point,
Breaking news.
What is the
What do we
break?
got?
Lindor open to talking long-term deal with the Mets.
Oh, no way, dude.
Wow.
Love that.
Speaking of Chubb.
because they only got him for a year, right? In his contract. They only
Well,
signed him
yes.
for a year.
Well, they didn't. It's a trade.
yeah,
the trade
yeah.
was he's only got another year left. But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm just saying
let's
it just came.
let's just break down the rest of this game. But
I
yes,
hate the Mets.
All right, you know what, dude? Focus, Mike. All right.
save it, Mike.
dude.
Come on.
But dude, the Steelers.
But yes, no, but
Is it over for Big Ben?
yeah, is it over for Big Ben? Is this it?
I don't
for him?
know, dude. I don't know if it's necessarily. I'm not
Dude,
gonna
I
say it
think,
should be
like-
over. It could be over, but
I think it might
if
be
it's
over.
not,
for
it might.
Pittsburgh.
You think it's over for him in Pittsburgh? Because it
think
might not be
so.
over for him, but it might be
Yeah.
over for him in Pittsburgh.
I think it's over for him in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
he
Where the
played.
fuck- where's he gonna go?
Like you said, what if he goes to the team you said Wentz might go to?
Oh, the
Colts.
Colts.
Dude, that'd be another Philip Rivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true though.
But this is the thing.
They did it once.
I mean, yeah, it worked. They got
Yeah.
to the playoffs, but like, dude, that's not obviously a long term
Yeah.
fix.
Yesterday,
Yeah, no.
yesterday though, he looked upset yesterday.
He was crying.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think you've ever seen that from him. So
No.
kind of maybe
We've seen that
signifies a
from
little bit
few
of the
guys,
end.
dude. Like Zach Ertz the other
Yeah.
weekend when Philly lost, like that
Yeah.
might be his last time in Eagles
Yeah.
uniform.
Yeah, and I think guys signifying that maybe they're
It might
on
be
the way
end,
out.
dude. Yeah,
But
it might be the end.
But also another thing to point out, the Steelers rested their players
Right,
last
yeah.
week.
Right.
Also, the Steelers and the Titans were the only two teams that had that weird bye week moved up.
So bad.
Right.
I really have to.
Oh, nice. Wow, dude.
Can't help it.
Well, Tam's got to go, but while Tam's that, they were the only.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, Gino. You were saying.
Yeah, no, we don't really care. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Dude.
No, but yeah, they were really one of the only teams. They were really one of the only teams that had that bye moved
yeah.
or whatever.
The Steelers.
Yes.
Yeah, they got
Obviously-
fucked this year with all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
they
and
go
all, like,
1-5
COVID stuff, yeah,
down the
but-
road.
Yeah.
They had to play 3 games in 12 days.
Yeah.
I know it's not like crazy to regular people, but it's
Yeah.
a lot for a for a football player.
And they had a
Exactly,
great
yeah.
season. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get us wrong. Like they overcame these adversities.
I mean,
and
11-0
you know?
to start.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Who was thinking that, dude?
No, yeah, I think that's that was the crazy part.
And
of
it's
that.
funny because I feel like, after the first few weeks, like people were talking about how they are a one-dimensional team,
Yeah.
and it like wasn't catching up with them until the end of the season.
Yeah.
But I mean, but still,
a lot of injuries too. That was a problem.
They had tough injuries, but they were like, to quote Chris Collinsworth, who I love, obviously, they were like the best at their craft, which was the passing game.
Yeah.
Like, they were absolutely killing it.
Yeah, and they didn't.
Like-
I felt like they didn't open up the playbook for Big Ben in this game when they should
I
have.
just don't
Well,
know.
it was just
I don't know if he
passes,
can.
dude. Like
I just don't know if he has it.
He has
I
it
don't
in
know
him,
if he
yeah.
has it. So
I know.
that's my thing. I don't know if Big Ben has it, and that's why I can't see him being back next year. The Browns obviously will move on to play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You guys will make those predictions. We'll talk about that game on Friday.
Right.
But we're going to move on from the NFL right now because that's really all we have. Obviously, the Saints win. They'll play the
Bucks.
Right.
The Bucks.
The Bucks. That'll be a really good game.
Yeah, the Saints will play the Bucks. The the Packers will play the. Why am I blanking?
They are going to play
The Rams.
the Rams. Yeah,
The Rams. And on the other side, as we mentioned, Buffalo playing the Ravens and the Chiefs playing the Browns. So some really, really good games to break down. And
good weekend of football coming up.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on Friday for sure. But we do have to talk about the NHL season as it's coming up. January 13th is the start of the NHL season.
Pumped, dude.
Before we continue, we need to make this a very important announcement. America is better basically at every sporting event ever than Canada. And this is because Canada sucks at hockey as they lose again to America in the gold medal game.
Love it.
Okay.
So,
nice.
I just want to make that very important announcement that America is better than Canada.
At hockey.
At hockey and
probably in
other
general.
And a
sports.
lot of things. Yeah.
Canada sucks.
Love Canada. Toronto.
I mean, dude,
Toronto's nice.
I can
Toronto's
put
nice.
cheese on my fries and gravy, and
Yeah.
you can do that anywhere, dude.
That's
Sick.
a big Canadian.
Poutine, like, give me a
poutine.
break,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh,
Give me a break.
Oh, poutine.
But yeah, so
Poutine. Yeah.
we got to break down the
that
NHL season. We got to talk about it a little bit because that's the one sport we really haven't talked about on the Sports Port in a while. Let's talk about sleeper teams first. Obviously, the divisions are all weird this year with the way it's breaking down. There's going to be 4 divisions: an East, a Central, a West, and a North. The North division being all Canada,
Right.
north of the border. Tony, we'll start with you. What's a team that you're looking at right now from any of the divisions that really looks like a sleeper?
It's kind of tough. I want to say the Canucks, dude. I feel like they rattled some cages in the postseason last year. I think they beat the Wild, and then they knocked out the Blues, I believe, after that. And they have a decent team. They have some nice defensemen. They got Jordy Ben, Quinn Hughes, and they picked up Brandon Holtby, which is, I think, a huge pickup for them.
Yeah.
Because in terms of, they kind of had a goalie issue, I feel. And then, they have decent forwards. Tanner Pearson's always good. Michael Furland, I can see them kind of coming out in their division. I mean, they're in the North Division, right? So there's all the Canada teams and stuff. I don't know, who do they have? Montreal, not good. Ottawa, and
No comment.
Yeah, I know, dude. They'll have Edmonton. I feel like Toronto will be good this season, but yeah, I feel like don't sleep on the Canucks, dude.
Yeah, no, the Canucks are with Quinn Hughes, with the players they have a lot of young talent on the Canucks,
Yeah.
and I think that's a big, big thing. Especially in a year like this where, I don't know, I feel like those youthful legs will definitely help. Tim, you got any sleeper picks?
Dude, I'm going to go with the Vegas Knights because, a couple of years, this is going to be their third year.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, they go to the Stanley Cup final in the first year, which was
season.
fucking nuts. That was crazy.
And then they knocked out the Canucks actually last season.
Yeah. So I think look for the Knights to kind of go back to their ways of their Stanley Cup esque winning ways, and maybe go further in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to stick in that division for my sleeper pick, and I'm going to go with the Coyotes. I think the Coyotes have a good team. I think that they've slowly been building towards this point where they're at this brink now, where it's either they're going to be good or they're going to be not good, and then they're going to have to start thinking about rebuilding again or how they can trade some pieces away. I think this is the year. Goaltending is going to be the biggest issue, I think, for them. But I think the Coyotes really, really have a shot this year to make some noise. I think they're better than the Ducks. I think they're going to be better than the Wild and the Kings and the Blues. And I think they can get in those playoffs and maybe make some noise against some of these opponents. You never know what San Jose. I don't really know what San Jose is going to look like. Colorado will obviously probably be very good again. Vegas, like you mentioned, probably would be good again. So I think the Coyotes sneak in the playoffs this year, make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, I can see that.
And really, really get the ball rolling with their kind of window of opportunity here, I guess you could say. Moving on, let's look at the other side of things. Teams that you could see that maybe typically play well but will disappoint.
What am I, chicken shit?
Oh, I'm sorry, Michael.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't know you wanted to be in on
I
this.
didn't know you wanted to be
Christ.
included here.
I didn't even
So-
see you over there.
Dude, honestly, you've been so quiet this whole day, I feel.
Well, because I've been
Yo.
waiting for this moment.
Are you all right, dude?
Yeah,
Well,
shoulders.
this comment is gonna. It's just not gonna make any sense. So I
Just
figured,
wait.
I figured I'd
So I
save
know.
you the.
All right. So I know last year, guys, the Devils struggled. Right. A lot of people in the sports world predicted, with the likes of PK Subban, Gusev, and adding #1 pick Jack Hughes to the fold, which already included. Excuse me.
Mike's literally
Hold on.
reading a sportsgeek.com article. Plagiarism here. I don't want to be plagiarism. I don't want to be called out for
Oh my
copying
I'm
or
not.
anything.
I'm just reading what this gentleman
from
is saying.
2018?
No, fucking
It's
chill.
2018.
This is a 2021 fucking prediction. All right, and we already had Tyler Hall. If you don't know who he is,
Have you gotten to the bottom of the article
Taylor
where it says
Hall?
like they're going to finish in 7th in the league?
Can
Like
you
the
guys
way-
wait?
Taylor Hall?
Can you guys wait?
Jack Hughes sucks, dude.
You're so blind to light. It's so.
I'm
sad.
blind to light.
Blinded by the light. No, but the one bright spot last year, some say he's a reincarnation of Marty.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I would be upset if I heard that too. Is it
Who?
who? Mackenzie Blackwood is who?
Mackenzie Black was good,
Dude,
but he's
who-
not.
who-
There's
don't
no
even know him,
way
dude. Who's that? I
anybody's.
never even
Where
heard
is
of
this?
him, Black.
Where are
Some
you reading
people,
this?
listen,
A reincarnation, dude?
don't worry about where my fucking sources are coming
You're better
from.
off with Keith Kincaid, for God's
Keith
sake.
Kincaid.
Wow. This guy sucked, dude.
You know what? Devils are gonna make a big year this year, and you're gonna see it, Tony. They're gonna have a better year than the fucking Rangers,
Okay.
and that's it. That's all I
I hope we can
Nice.
get a game. Oh, dude, I just no, I'm not even gonna mention it, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't. All right, going on.
I'm just gonna-
Teams that were
whatever,
trash,
dude.
that teams that were good, that could potentially be trash.
Do you have a team that was good that could be?
Yeah,
that's
I
all I'm
actually
trying-
do.
Go ahead,
Okay,
then.
you
Go
got
ahead.
The New York Rangers.
Wow, how did you know?
New York Rangers didn't make the playoffs last year, though.
dude.
Yeah, but now,
But they have hype. They have
yes,
hype.
they have a lot of
Okay.
hype.
They've been building,
They
bro.
suck. It doesn't matter. They suck. So it's not gonna matter.
That was a cue. Here he comes. This is gonna be great. So anyway,
Yeah, continue.
Yeah.
There's fucking elephants apparently upstairs.
I got some dust on me. Some
Jesus Christ.
honestly,
thought he was
bro,
gonna
it's
come
all
through
over
the
my
fucking
laptop.
room.
Honestly,
Bro.
I think that.
the hell?
what the fuck happened?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, all right. Well, teams that are going to disappoint. Teams that are going to disappoint. Let's
fuck
just
outta
move on.
here.
The Rangers are going to disappoint. Really,
tight.
really bad. So
What?
that's his comment.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
The Rangers
honestly,
are going to
like,
suck. That's basically what
Okay,
Mike
that's
was
what
going
Mike's
to say.
saying,
No.
yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I like to be a realistic Rangers fan, but I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to go along with Mike. Okay, I'm going to say I want to say the Bruins aren't going to be as good this season.
Nice.
Just because they had some issues last season. They had good runs, but I feel like they were kind of inconsistent. Or at least like consistently good for a little bit, consistently bad for a while, and it's like.
You can't have that.
They're kind of an older team, I guess, too, as well. I mean, they have some young names on there, but they're not really developed players. So I feel like for the next couple of years, they're going to be like kind of up and down, making moves, maybe rebuilding a little bit.
Who's this again?
The Bruins.
The Bruins.
Yes.
I would love that to be the case.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And I feel like like no one likes the Bruins.
Yeah, they're
Like, give me
always
a
so
break,
good, dude. I hate them.
And like, dude, Brad Marchand, like, why is he even in the league,
Dude, I know.
I mean, he's really good, but he's kind of a dick. So.
Is it?
And he's ugly.
Yeah.
Arguably
So if
the
you're
ugliest
ugly-
player, dude.
If you're
yeah.
ugly and you're an asshole in the NHL, you shouldn't be there apparently to Tony.
Exactly.
Even though that's like
even though you're
That's like
really hard.
90% of them.
think
Tam,
they're
what
all
do you got?
kinda cool. I
What do you
don't
got? What do you got?
Dude, I'm gonna go with the Penguins.
Ooh,
I feel like they're
that.
kind of
I like
like
that, dude.
getting like
Last year-
a little bit of an older team
Yeah, last
now.
year
Yeah,
an
kinda
early
declining.
playoff exit to the Canadians. they
Yeah,
lost
yeah,
to,
and
so-
obviously, like Pittsburgh's one of those teams that's always been in the mix for the last 10 years.
yeah.
Like Sidney Crosby, obviously
Right.
he's a stud. He's
No
getting-
longer the kid, though.
He's getting
No.
he's not a kid anymore. He's getting a little older now, and I think
It's crazy.
Pittsburgh is on that verge of like they need to maybe
Retool.
they'll be retooling
Right.
and rebuilding sooner than later. But yeah,
I can
that's
see
what I'm
that.
gonna go with.
Yeah, I got. This is going to come to as a surprise to a lot of people, I think. But I have Tampa Bay disappointing this year.
wow.
Despite winning the
see
cup, just looking at their roster, obviously Vasilevsky is going to have to be really, really good again for them to be good. The defense is getting up there in age. All their top defensemen, you look at, Jan Ruta, Ryan McDonough, Victor Hedman, Shen. Those guys are all
McDonough, huh?
30. Those
McDonough, dude.
Damn, dude.
yeah,
dude.
those guys are all 30 years and older. So
Met
that's
McDonough.
going to be a line with a lot of legs or a defense with a lot of time on those legs.
Right.
In a year where there's not a very long off season because things really just ended.
Yeah, not at all.
That's going to be a problem. And then, obviously they still have the Kucherov. They still have Palatz. Patrick Maroon will be good, but he's, again, getting up there in age. He was a big part of that team. And, you never know how he's going to play. Alex Killorn is 31 years old. I just think that with some
Tyler
of
Johnson
the
is
age.
just trash.
Also 30 years old. But I think just with the age of this team, I think we might, with the short off season, they had the shortest off season at anybody because they won the Stanley Cup. I think that this might start to play on them, and I think that this will be a team that maybe doesn't play up to their potential this year and could see maybe a little bit of a
Early
downfall.
exit,
Yeah, dude.
Early exit. So
I like
that's
those picks, guys.
Yeah, I like that. I think those are a really good.
Right? We sound really good right now.
We
We're
look
killing
like
it,
we
dude.
know what we're talking about.
You guys exposed me.
I know.
I used to be a diehard Devils fan, everybody. Like Scott Stevens,
Right.
Marty Brodeur,
Yeah.
Jason Arnott, Patrick Elias days. That was my team. And then after that team, was done.
The second the Devils started losing, Mike was like, I'm out of here.
Well,
guys.
it was the time where I became a huge basketball fan.
Yeah.
And I didn't play hockey, so
Right.
what am I going to do? Watch hockey and not play? Like a loser?
Yeah, actually. I think a lot of people do that.
Non-athletes.
Well, yeah, I do that.
yeah, we all do it. No, we all do it now.
Say it. What do you mean?
But at the time, I'm saying I was
At the time.
I would want to play.
Jesus.
Yo, dude, can you quiet down?
Okay,
there,
moving
bro?
on. We're going to move on from that. Let's go to best teams in each division. Let's just really quick
Okay.
bounce through this. What do you guys got
Devils.
for best team in each division?
Best team.
Best
Best
team.
The best team.
Betch.
All right, I'll start North
Any day.
Division. I'm gonna go with what I was mentioning earlier, Toronto, dude. I mean, their roster is looking pretty good. Jimmy, no, you don't like it, dude?
Nope.
All right, well, dude, it's not gonna be the Canadians. Just gotta get over it, dude. I mean,
they
dude,
had Jimmy
they got
Vesey.
Jimmy Vesey, like their goaltender.
him.
They got Anderson. Even their backup, like Aaron Dell, was not bad. I think he was at San Jose.
Yeah, he
for a
was
while.
in San Jose for a little bit.
He was doing well for them. Yeah, dude, William Nylander. Their defense is looking real nice. Bogosian, Brody, Jake Musin.
Matt's just like
Matt's just like he's reading his name. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, obviously they have Tavares and Matthews, so like they're going to be a threat offensively.
Matthew.
Matthews.
No,
no.
Austin
Matthews.
Oh,
With an O.
Austin, and then they have Jason Spezza, I think, and Thornton as well. So they're going to be quite the threat on offense. With some decent defense to back it up, so I can see them winning the North. The West, I'll go with Vegas. Honestly, I think they're a young team, but they've been like we've mentioned before. It's their third season. They're going to have some better chemistry, as if they didn't have great chemistry already. So they're going to take the West. The Central, I think it's going to be tough. I want to say Dallas. Is going to be a big threat there, or Columbus.
Carolina's going to.
I think Tony could speak for me.
I mean, Carolina torched the Rangers in the postseason, swept them. I think the Rangers had 3-4 goals in 3 games, something like that. So I think it'll be a tough division, but I'm going to say Dallas. And then the East also going to be a tough one. Obviously, I'm a little biased, I guess. But I'm going to go Rangers. I mean, I think they're gaining a lot of traction with their young players. They're making good moves. I mean, they have Panarin, they have Zibanejad. They have
a good team,
two really good goaltenders, even without Lundqvist.
What's that kid's name? Capo, who they picked a couple
Oh,
years ago.
Capo Blanco.
Yeah.
Capo
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, dude. I mean, no, they have amazing offense. Chris Kreider is the best guy ever, I think. Right, Gino?
Kreider.
So yeah, I'm gonna
Listen,
go.
he's a nice guy. I can't.
He's got to be a nice guy. He doesn't really injure anyone intentionally.
I hate you.
Ever. But yeah, so those are my picks right there. Fucking read it and weep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell 'em what you got.
They're the right
Right.
picks, by the way.
So
I have
the
the
wrong
right
picks.
picks.
In the North, the good old North.
the North, the King.
North.
I'm
of
gonna
the
go
border.
with the Toronto Maple Leafs as well.
All right.
And then if we head out west, I'm gonna go with the Vegas Knights. How can I not go with the Knights? I just picked them for that little fucking segment.
Honestly, keep it consistent.
Central. Let's move on to the Central now. Shit. I'm gonna go with the Panthers. Dude. I'm gonna go with
nice.
the
Florida
I like that.
Panthers.
Yeah.
Florida
Nice,
Panthers,
dude.
and then East, dude, definitely rocking with the Rangers.
Yes.
In the cousin Tony. Yeah, no
Ridiculous.
doubt. I mean, look
Ridiculous.
Look at my hat. This
Okay,
is the only
right. You
article-
can't be not
this is the
going with the
only
Rangers.
article of clothing I have on.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. That's terrible.
Except they saw your pants when you got to the bathroom, you clown.
Damn it.
Whatever. Fucking idiot.
This is ridiculous.
yeah,
The Rangers,
Gino, what do you got,
are going to
dude?
win. I'll start with
What do you
the
mean?
East.
Yeah,
I'll start with the East.
Okay,
I
let's
think the
fucking start with
Flyers
the
are the
Flyers.
easy number one. The Flyers are the Islanders. I think it's the Flyers. I think the East Division. I mean, the Rangers will be good. I'll give the
That's
Rangers
the
credit.
toughest
The Rangers
division
will
for
be
sure.
good.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I think in terms of parity, the Central might be the toughest division.
Who do you got in the
I
Central?
guess.
Because
Columbus?
the Central, I feel like a lot of teams are like kind of in the middle. Like
Right.
there's a lot of average teams.
Okay.
The only really bad team in that division
Detroit?
is Detroit.
Yeah.
But the Central, I have Carolina. I think that they come out and they pull. I think they take that next step again.
Yeah.
Going along with the next step.
Whalers.
I think they got the Hartford Whalers. Yes, here in Bridgeport.
Praise the Whalers.
Respect.
I got the Flyers, the Hurricanes. If I was a homer like you two, I would go with the Canadians, but I'm not going to go with the Canadians. They'll make the playoffs, I think. I think they'll make the playoffs, but they won't win it. I have. I think I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go with the Canucks. I think I liked your pick. I think that them, or I think that the Canadian division is going to be tough because Winnipeg will be good, Calgary's going to be good.
Right.
Canucks will be good. Maple Leafs will be good. Ottawa, I don't know where they stand. They're moving in the right direction, but
Ottawa.
and then the Canadians and the Oilers, I think, will both be good. So I think that's going to be a tough division. We'll learn a lot about that in the first couple weeks. And then I think out of the West, I'm going to go with Colorado.
Yes.
I like Colorado a lot. So I like their offense. I like that first line. So
yes.
And then if you guys had to pick a Stanley Cup champ, what do you got?
Rangers. Book it.
Book it. Book them, dude. Oh, dude, that's tough, honestly. Early, I don't want to say Rangers. I want to be
Don't copy me, dude.
I'm not going to copy you. All right, dude, I'll go Toronto. I'll say they make it. And they win the cup.
Yeah, no.
All right.
No way.
I think Tavares wants it. He wants to prove all those Islander fans.
What does he want, Tony?
He
To
definitely wants
hoist
it.
the cup, Mike?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, pajamas again.
Devils are
Whatever,
winning
dude.
it.
Who
you got?
Devils are winning it all.
All right, Mike's got the Devils.
The Devils are winning it.
What do you got?
Oh, I said Rangers.
You got
Yeah.
Rangers?
Who you got,
it's
dude?
well, it's not going to be the Maple Leafs. I'm telling you, it's not going to be the Maple Leafs.
Oh, that's great. I'm telling you it is.
I
don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's
just
tough,
looking
dude.
at
Look
this, the team that I have the most. There's two teams I have a lot of confidence in being good: the Flyers and the Avalanche. I think that those two teams can be like the two best teams in the league. Like I think that those two teams can be the two best teams in the league. I'm going to go with the Flyers.
Okay.
I think the Flyers have a really good.
All your picks are wrong.
Kevin Hayes. I love
My
Kevin
picks
Hayes.
are
dude.
wrong.
Also met Kevin Hayes in that Miami.
Oh, yeah. That guy's a goon.
Did I ever tell you
I love
that
it.
story?
Kevin Hayes.
About me and my boys in
No.
Miami. We met the whole Rangers
Miami.
team.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. New Year's Eve, turning 2016.
That's nuts. That's
You all right,
nuts.
dude?
Yeah.
How are your shoulders?
Think about Miami, dude. Miami. Dude, I am so pumped for some hockey, guys.
It's
I can
gonna be
tell.
great.
You got a
January
little
13th.
stiffy under the table.
I have a what?
What? Next, we're going on to other news, though.
Yeah, other news.
Oh,
We're going
all right.
on other news.
Even better news.
Hockey
honestly.
hockey starts January 13th.
Yeah, it's
so
gonna be epic.
It's gonna
Wednesday.
be great.
It's Wednesday, guys.
Wednesday, baby. Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Other news, of course, we talked about Lindor and Carrasco getting traded to the Mets. You guys talked a little bit about it on your podcast on Friday when you were here with Barnes. I want to hear Tony's perspective because he is a Mets fan and the only one I think
literally ever.
here. So
The only one literally ever. I mean, that'd be pretty dope. But, dude, honestly,
Let's hear it, dude.
I love the acquisition so far the Mets have, I think people are kind of, I think Carrasco's getting kind of like overshadowed
in the whole deal.
in the whole deal
Yeah.
because of Lindor.
Yeah.
But I mean, Carrasco adds a lot of depth to the rotation. I mean, it's fucking, dude. Say what you will, bro, but
wait, who was that?
that was Mike on the sound. Mike loves the soundboard. Now he knows how to use
that's
it
coming
pretty
from
well.
upstairs.
So he's just like, but yeah, he did well for Cleveland, Carrasco, and I mean, like I said, with our rotation, we kind of need him. We don't necessarily need, we just need a good, reliable. More reliable pitchers in the rotation, not necessarily an ace, because we have our ace already.
Who?
Jacob DeGrom. Who?
He's gonna get
Who,
injured
dude?
this year.
No, he's not, dude. That's terrible to wish upon anyone.
I'm not wishing it. I could
matter-
just-
really, because you are wishing it.
No,
right
I'm
now, dude.
not.
You're speaking it into existence. Well, anyway, yeah, and obviously, I mean,
So you're pumped, dude.
yeah, I'm so pumped. And Lindor,
yeah,
like Mike was saying, now he wants a longer term deal with the Mets. Like that's exactly what we need.
Maybe, dude. Take it easy.
Yeah, relax.
We need better defense. I mean, that's what he said. I'm not saying
I
that.
know.
That's what he said. You know,
Maybe.
that's what he said. I mean, how could you hate this?
Dude, they also
Like,
have James McCann. They
and then
signed
maybe
a
we'll get
4-year
LeMahieu
deal.
too. Like, who knows what's
Fuck
gonna happen,
you,
dude.
bro.
I hate
the
you.
Mets get LeMahieu, dude. I'm gonna swan dive
Cano
out
was
of
too
this
busy
fucking window, bro.
doping
Head
up.
first.
Cano wasn't
And
good enough to
survive.
play.
He wasn't good. I know,
He's
dude.
your DH, you know?
Literally, and he's
Cano
like
is
a
trash.
okay DH at that.
Are we
Like,
sticking with the DH in baseball this year? Is
I
it
don't
for
know.
the,
Well, no,
NL for the NL?
It's coming to the
Yeah,
NL.
it
is.
It is coming to the NL.
Okay, so that's
Which will be good.
Obviously,
fucking
also
time.
just to also point out, Chris Bryant talks have also been reported for the Mets. That's a
Right.
move that I don't know how it gets done, but if it does get done, obviously would be a really good move for the Mets, but also would probably take them out of the DJ LeMahieu sweepstakes because where
probably.
would they put him? Because Jeff McNeil's just going to play second base
base.
at that
Yankees
point.
better figure it out with LeMahieu.
The
That's
Yankees
all
do
I
need to
gotta
figure.
say.
The
I don't
Yankees
know
need
what
to figure
their
it out.
deal is.
I don't know
Like,
what their
why-
deal is either,
No,
bro. I'm
it's-
tired of
it's-
this Yankee bullshit, dude, where they waiting.
Before the
Like, what game are you playing?
after the offseason this year, after they got kicked from the playoffs this year, there was a lot of talk about how they weren't going to make many moves this year and how the money was going to be supposedly tight because the Steinbrenners were going to use the excuse of COVID-19 and not making any
Bullshit.
money. And that's what we're seeing. They haven't done anything. They traded for outfielder Greg Allen, who obviously is just as good as Francisco Lindor, but nobody knows it yet.
Oh my God.
But no, it's just one of those moves. Another one of those Cashman for Mike Talkman moves, where it's a guy you've never heard of before that's probably going to come back. He's going to bat well, but he's going to play in a cluttered outfield. But yeah, the Yankees have a lot to do. So, but Mike, you want to talk about a little basketball?
Yeah, quick, just real quick.
Oh,
Yeah, it's nothing
okay.
fast. I mean,
It's nothing fast.
I mean, it's nothing slow. No, real quick. LaMelo Ball becomes the youngest player ever to record a triple double. But there's
pretty
also
dope.
some tension over there with. I know it doesn't matter. Bismack Biyombo. It's like, who are you going to keep? Obviously, you'd get rid of Bismack, but
What?
Right.
Wait, what?
What is the tension?
he's mad that LaMelo is stat chasing in these games early on and stuff.
yeah.
Like, kind of
Why
Russell
is this
Westbrook
becoming a thing now? Because I feel like this has been happening for a while with other players
in the league. Yeah, well, it's like he's a rookie. I feel like
it's because he's a rookie.
if it was like Russell Westbrook does it all the fucking time. He'll go take rebounds from bigs and just to get that triple double and stuff like. But he's already an established fucking MVP candidate. Right. So But then,
But you see, it doesn't work. So I guess he has a point.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You still lose the game. Like it's trash. Like I feel bad for the Wizards. By the way, Bradley Beal, sorry for you,
dude.
bro. Like
55 and still, or what, 60 and he couldn't still.
100. He scored over
suck,
101
dude.
points in 2 days,
Yeah.
2 games, and they still lost
They
both
lost
games.
both games,
Is
bro.
Russ
Jesus,
playing?
dude.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude.
How
He's
are
not-
they
'cause
losing?
he's-
Because they're trash,
Yeah.
dude. Like
not the
Russell
guy.
Westbrook is not.
He's not the guy.
It's just obvious. Like
yeah.
No, it's just you. It's a kind of the perfect point of what we're about to talk about now with
Yeah.
Trae Young and John Collins. He's that player that just doesn't fit in a team,
yeah.
and he's just like he's good. He's
Yeah.
really good individually, but he doesn't fit in that team aspect.
Yeah.
and I think that's a problem with Russ. But Melo, I mean, give
He's
the kid
young.
Give the
I
kid
know.
A break. I mean, come
give
on.
him a- yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, wait,
I agree.
and you're winning games, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. They've won their last 2 or 3 in a row. Like, fuck it, dude. And like on top of that, it's like with the John Collins thing, dude, he's mad at Trae Young for ball hogging
Yeah.
and whatever. It's like I went and watched Atlanta live last year.
Yeah.
It's basically the same team. Obviously has Danilo, Bogdanovich or whatever, and Clint Capella wasn't playing last year.
Yeah.
But dude, you need him to do that right now until the rest of you fucking catch up.
Well,
Right.
no, again,
know?
I understand. We
And-
talked about this before. I understand his point. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think about this. But I understand his point in the sense that, like, Trae Young is not, I guess, in a similar sense that Russ is not a guy that can go there and be a LeBron and help like elevate the level of the players around him in a sense. Trae, I'm not sure if he's that guy, and the Hawks aren't exactly. The Hawks have the talent to be better than 4-7 or whatever
Yeah.
they are, and they're not. They're not.
He reminds me, dude, and I know not the same at all, and their games are a lot different and whatever, but like he reminds me of a young AI coming into the game. There was no such thing as AI really.
Good comp.
Yeah, and like he was doing his thing, and then what happened? He needed a Larry Brown to get him to the finals, to and I think it's going to be a similar like.
And of course, we saw what happened once he got another superstar in Melo and just kind of like balling out there.
Yeah,
Denver too.
exactly. Like he definitely needs help too, dude. Like
Yeah, no, we definitely need help. But I think that what John Collins might be trying to say
he's like, give me a chance, maybe.
Yeah, I think he said it the wrong way. I think the way he put it is wrong because I don't think the ball offense should be running through John Collins.
Yeah.
you're
Definitely
not.
not.
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
what he
the guy.
said, Matt. He said he wants the offense
obviously
to.
that's not the case.
You're
That
not
should
the
not
guy.
be the case.
You're not
Yeah.
the guy.
Offense should go through Trae
But I
Young.
understand
But
if
Trae Young needs to be able to
lift the team up more.
Right now, they need team more
Yeah.
than they need
Trey.
just Trey
yeah,
balling out.
yeah, I know.
Like if Trey drops 20 and the team wins the game, that's
Yeah.
better than Trey dropping 38.
He
and the
should do
team losing.
20.
Yeah.
He should try to get 20 and 20 every game. 20 points, 20 assists. Like,
Yeah.
that should be his
Yeah.
mindset. Like, let me get that and I'm good.
He
Like,
needs to be if the offense is going to run through him, he needs to be more of a passer than he is. He shoots the ball a lot. He needs to be more of a passer. So that's going to be, really how that plays out in Atlanta. But that's it for us.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we got. A pretty packed show. Obviously, playoffs.
Yeah.
The playoffs keep it running. There's a lot to talk about in the playoffs, and then obviously the NHL season coming up is big too. So
Exciting time,
very
boys.
exciting
Very
time.
exciting time.
It's going to be a really good week of sports. so
yeah.
It's coming, guys. We're back to the full swing of things
Yeah.
soon
Yeah.
with all
Yeah.
the sports fucking
Right.
which
being
is
here.
great. Which is great. A lot of different things to talk about. Of
gonna be
course,
epic. It's
gonna be dope.
Another month until pitchers and catchers, and we're ready to go. But that's it for us. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you keep subscribing on YouTube, following us on Instagram. We're gonna get that Patreon going soon.
Yes.
So
We have merch coming.
We got merch coming. So a
Big
lot
things
of
from
big,
Downtime.
lot of big things from Downtime this year.
Hell yeah.
Coming up early in the year. So stay tuned.
Stay
and
tuned.
we'll,
Peace, guys.
Deuces.